Welcome back, everybody. See the flag blowing in the breeze here. I think we might get above zero today, which is awesome, which is hilarious for our next segment because why not on Friday the 13th of December? We talk golf, but we had some pretty big news earlier this week. Detroit Lakes native Kate Smith-Stroh qualified for the LPGA Tour in 2025. She earned her card, and why wouldn't she be on a golf course this morning to join us? First off, it's great to see you. Second, congratulations. Has the smile left your face over the last 2 days?
No, it hasn't. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a wild week for sure.
Okay, for people that don't understand Q School, give us the lowdown of what you just went through to make it on the tour.
Yeah, I'll try to make it short. So pretty much there's three stages of Q school. It's like 300 girls at the first, maybe 250 at the second, 100 at the last. So the last stage is like LPGA girls that lost their card, Epson, which was me, who was top 35, which is like the Corn Ferry for the women. And then like top 10 on LET, and then some of the girls that started from Q school. So 100 of us, and then you're trying to get top 25, and it's 5 rounds for a full card. So
That is a grind, and just add in the fact weather played. We were talking this off air. Weather was an issue too, that it delayed a round. So I mean, already, I can't imagine the nerves just starting this. Where were you at knowing, okay, my dream is here if I play really well for 5 days?
nerves are max, for sure. Luckily, I have like a lot of good experiences to pull off of in my career, but nothing like this. I think you get so close to something that's so big. I mean, the greatest golf tour in the world, and so you have to really stay in the present and just not think about what's next and what you're playing for is just so much on the line.
You had played pretty consistent through the first 4 days. What was your mindset heading into Tuesday, into the final round?
Yeah, I mean, just trying to keep so much belief in myself, and I mean, after 4 rounds, you're thinking, well, I'm playing well. You just have to stay the course, but trying to stay calm. And I mean, I felt pretty good. I was 2 under through 11, and then the backside's pretty tough. Made a couple bogeys, and then all of a sudden, I kind of had my back against the wall to try to make sure I secured my card the last few holes.
So are there leaderboards out there? Like, are you constantly knowing where you're at, or are you kind of in the dark?
Yeah, they had them staged every 3 holes, so more than usual, really. And so you're looking at it a lot, and I kind of had a cushion all day, but it wasn't more than 1 or 2 strokes, so that's a hole can swing that.
So you birdie the 17th. That got you to 8 under. Just when we talk about you've made some unbelievable putts, where does that one rank for your career, in your opinion?
It was probably the hardest 4 footer I've ever hit in my life. I hit a 4 iron to 4 feet, and I'm like, nice, awesome. And then I'm like, wow, this 4 footer looks terrifying right now. So yeah, it might be the best par three I've played in my life. We'll see, but it was important.
Like the knees knocking the whole 9 yards over the putt.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah. I don't remember if it went in the right center, the left center, if I blacked out over it. I just know I made it two and I moved on. So
so were you running to the 18th tee after you made that putt?
a little bit,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, 18's like straight uphill par four though too. So it's like, okay, let's hit two good shots and hopefully get putting. And I mean, you have belief in yourself, but like anything can happen, when something like that's on the line.
The top 25 earn their cards. You finish at 8 under. Are you confident? Are you did you have to sweat it out for the rest of the day?
Yeah, I was pretty confident. Luckily, I was one of the last
Okay.
groups in. So I didn't have to really sweat at all. I kind of just knew, and that was nice.
So coming up the 18th, I mean, you've had some amazing performances in your career when you knew you had it. What was that emotion walking up the 18th fairway?
A lot of emotion. My dad was watching, and I had my friend Hunter on the bag, and just be able to like celebrate with them. And yeah, it's really not a moment I ever like pictured or dreamt of. Like I just like playing golf. I like doing it for a job, and so if I can do it a little bit longer and for a little bit more money and better courses, sure. Like I still hasn't set in.
That was my next question. As it's because I saw the LPGA had an awesome video where all of you that earn your cards held up, you had placards with your name on it. Did it sink in then? Has it yet? It's been a couple days later.
I think it's starting to sink in just looking at the schedule. Like I'm going to places to play on the LPGA next year. Like I gotta book flights and but it hasn't really set in. It's just been a lot of different, moments, and I'm just so grateful. Like I've had, I don't know, my sponsors and like my trainer, my coaches, like my family, like they've all put in a lot of work for me to get here too. There's been a lot of sacrifices, so it feels like such a win for everybody.
And I think for people that don't know, like I think last time we talked was you made it to Augusta. You were playing down at the women's am down there. Describe the last three. I mean, this has been a grind the last 3 years, right?
It has. Yeah, I finished my college career on like a high, like winning Big Tens, going to Augusta.
Yeah.
I played for a national team and then got out on the Epson tour, and which was great, but I was not one of the best on that tour. I had to get better, and I had took me 3 years to do it. There was a lot of work I had to put in, and I loved it. I mean, I loved playing that tour, and I loved traveling. But it was a rude awakening, professional golf, how hard it was.
What was, I guess, the rude awakening? What was the thing that like hit you upside the head? Like, okay, I got to get better at blank.
I think everything, mostly putting and just being an overall athlete, like getting in the gym, speed training. I mean, it's just a lot different than what I thought it would be. It's just, yeah, getting better. I mean, I'd play well and I'd make the cut by one. And I'm like, oh my goodness, when am I going to be in contention if I'm pumped about making the cut by one?
Yeah.
So it's a learning curve.
The road to it's got to make it even sweeter. Like this has got to be the best Christmas present you've ever had, right?
For sure. I mean, because every year, as like in our position, you go to Q school and you go to the holidays and you're kind of feeling bad. You're like, okay, I didn't make it out.
Yeah.
I didn't make it out. Didn't get my card. So to have like a Christmas where I'm just happy about my golf game is pretty good. It's pretty sweet. And I couldn't ask for anything else. This has been amazing.
So after we chatted the other day, I was looking at the schedule, much like you were. So what is this? I mean, are you eligible for everything? What do you get into now for next season?
Yeah, it's a little complicated just with, LPGA has 5 majors. You got to play into those. A couple special events in Asia, no-cut events. So I think I'm going to get in most every regular season event.
Okay.
It's a really good card. And obviously there's reshuffles, but I'm kind of eyeing at least Florida. I think will be my first start. I might go to China right away.
All right.
I've never been to China. Mexico, Hawaii. I think we have a new event in Utah. I'll be out in LA early. That'll be kind of the start of my season. Will be 2 events in LA. So yeah, just trying to prepare, in golf, we're always like prepping for the next event. I'm trying to figure out what that's looking like.
Well, I see there's a event in Vegas. I don't know if you have to get into that one. And then cool. I know you have to qualify, but the U.S. Women's Open is right next door in Wisconsin. You got to be jazzed to see if you can get into that, right?
Yeah, I've been second alternate for the Women's Open the last 2 years, so it feels like it's in my reach. So I hope that would be great to be in the Midwest. Luckily, U.S. Open's kind of tough for everybody.
Yep.
Everybody's going to a qualifier, so it won't be any different there. And I hope, I can show up and be able to, represent the Midwest in the Midwest.
I was texting with your dad. He was there. I got to imagine he's been with you the entire time. Your whole family has. What was that moment, the emotion like after you finished on Tuesday?
Yeah, it was a lot of emotion. I mean, they only see like the back end side of it of like driving to, small towns and, picking me up from the airport at 4 a.m. or 1 a.m. or so to do it with my dad. I mean, it's been so special with my mom and dad being in the golf industry and my brother playing competitive golf. Like it's a hard sport and they know it better than anybody. So to like be able to celebrate my success with them has been really special.
What has been the reaction from DL? I know they're your biggest cheerleaders. What's hometown been like?
Oh, they're fired up. Yeah, I think the country club sent out maybe a newsletter that day, which was really nice. So I think that sent quite a ripple. Such an incredible golf community. So I think I we've taught a lot of clinics back there when we lived there, and just seeing like all the girls, be so excited. And I mean, their high school team's awesome. They're still in
Yes.
contention of state every year. Like, just like the community there and how much talent. Like, I hope that they know that anything's possible back home.
This was surreal as well. I saw on Tuesday on Amy Olsen's Instagram had a photo of you holding up your LPGA tour card. I know how much she meant to you. When I say that, what goes through your mind?
Yeah, it's just like flood of memories of just like thinking about how great she is and was on tour, and like what a incredible role model for all of us girls, as far as how she carries herself. I mean, I remember hearing about how hard she practiced when I was young, and I'm like, I could never work that hard for anything. That sounds awful. And here I am, probably still not working as hard as she did, but she set like such a path for me. And her and Kim Kaufman kind of got out on the LPGA similar time, and really allowed us all to think like it can happen. And but yeah, I mean, just her quality of character has been kind of the thing that has resonated the most with me, and I try to live up to that.
I have two things last for you. I don't want to hold up your round anymore. I always ask any
Oh,
golf
I'll get it.
when we get a golfer on, if you got to play one hole with one club, which club would you pick?
Um, Probably pick my 6 iron.
That's the go-to one.
I don't know. I think I could get out of a bunker with a 6 iron. I think I could hit it far enough. I think I could putt with it. That's I don't know. I don't want to try it, but we actually at Ironman we used to play one club golf, my brother and I. And
Is that
I
right?
think I was always pick a 6 iron. So
Now, I would ask also, what course you'd love to play. You've already been to Augusta, so I guess what else is there out there that you want to play?
we'll see. I probably play a lot of new ones this year.
Yeah.
I love Augusta National. I've never played Pebble or Cypress, anything out there.
That's
That
pretty
would
good.
be cool. I love Sahalee in Washington. It's in
Okay.
Seattle, big redwood trees. So I don't know. I'm young. I'm excited to play whatever courses I go to this year and the next, and sky's the limit.
Last thing for you, when you hear, the starters say from Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, Kate Smith-Stroh on your first LPGA event, what's going to go through your mind?
Uh yeah, it's just a lot of gratitude for everybody that helped me get here. And I gotta say I'm like proud of myself. It hasn't been easy, and there's been some moments where I just didn't know how long this career would last. So it's such a good like confirmation that I'm doing the right thing and I should be out there. So yeah, a lot of just gratitude, and I love playing this game. So I'm so happy I get to continue doing it.
Well, I could tell you, as someone who's followed you since you were in 8th grade, this is pretty awesome. And when I saw it on Tuesday, I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. And I know what the last 3 years have been like. So congratulations from everybody back here. Have a great holiday, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Yeah, you guys too. So nice to see you, and this has been awesome. So take care.
Kate Smith-Stroh, we can say it now, LPGA golfer, joining us from the golf course. Why not on this Friday after earning her LPGA Tour card earlier this week in Mobile, Alabama. 5 grueling rounds, and she'll be playing on the LPGA Tour next year. Awesome stuff. We're overdue for a break. We'll take one now. We'll get caught up in a couple things, wrap up our first hour. Back on Hot Mic right after this.